Uh-huh. Kill it. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yo, I had a dream. Tell the homies that's what's up. We the people, we the army. Put the speakers in the truck. We gon' tell them, yo, we bout to up this whole thing up. I make the people wanna jump. I make them jump. Cause it's bigger than hip. Hop, hip, hop, hip. 521. Yo, it's bigger than hip. This is fun. I knew the electric slide was coming. I felt it moving up to it.
Difficult early years quite often make us who we are. My next guest began his journey into the entertainment world to escape his realities like so many of us. He spent the majority of his life being an artist, but like so many of us again, he had to leave that dream behind to focus on his life priorities. This story is all too common. The difference here is, how do you record with huge names in the music industry such as Ed Sheeran, and yet not many people know who you are? I want to welcome to the 521 Sofa Chat, Kasha Rae.
What's up, my brother? Thank you for
Hey,
having
bro.
me.
What's with the saluting?
Salute People's Army business, man.
All right, so look, I've recently met you. I've got to know a little bit about you, but obviously that's just like scraping the surface. What can you tell me about your beginnings?
As a young man, I started out in care. I was taken into care when I was 6 years old, myself and my younger sister. We did go back to live with my mum when I was 11, but she was still kind of going through turbulent times. The same reasons why we were taken into care in the first place was kind of still prevalent in her life, do you know what I mean? So,
Can I ask you a small favor?
yes, mate.
Can you not use big words like prevalent? I don't know
Prevalent,
what it
yeah?
means.
Okay, no worries. I'll
Like,
bring it down
quite
for you.
dumb. I'm a rapper. I'm not very intelligent.
I'll dumb it down for you, no
Thank you.
worries.
Thank you
Yeah,
very
cool,
much, bro.
cool.
Yeah, okay,
Alright, cool.
just so we're clear.
I'll make sure I use some road man, you know what I mean? Like
I just
acronyms and stuff.
I just want
you
all
get
the
me?
the's and...
The and was, here, cat, bat,
Yeah, them ones.
sat on the map. Got you, man, got you. Got you. I got you. I got you.
Whose album? Mine or his?
Don't shoot that shade over here. That's all you, cuz. That's all you.
Yeah, it was.
All right. So yeah, man. It was tough times, bro. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't easy, but like now, you got to see the humor in everything. Do you know what I mean? I was a young man. I was very tough skinned. Do you know what I mean?
But did you use cream?
Yeah, I did. In Cocoa Bar, E45.
Okay.
You
And
know what I mean?
that should have softened
Especially
it a
for the
bit.
dry stuff, E45 gets that. Gets right in there.
Yeah, it works for me. It softens the
right,
skin a
isn't
bit.
it?
I'm washing liquid.
Yeah, you
That
gotta
softens
wash.
the
You
skin
gotta
as well.
wash. That's
Yeah.
important. But yeah, like, you know, I was tough skinned, but yeah, I tried to see not the humor in things, but I tried to see the bright side of life more time. A lot of my family members was gang members and you know, into roadside life. You know what I mean? So. A lot of things going on in the household that probably as a young man I shouldn't have been exposed to, do you know what I mean? But that's all I really knew. That was life, do you know what I mean? That was how I grew up, so I didn't know any different. I did know one thing, I did know that I didn't want to be a part of a lot of the dramas and stuff that was going on, because when you live a certain lifestyle, you know, my older brothers and stuff, you know, one of my older brothers in and out of jail, and, you know, yeah, on the roadside hard, and I just always saw that as a stress personally myself. I didn't see it as something that was very attractive. Do you know what I mean? Although there's money involved, I saw other avenues to like try and make a pound note. Do you get what I'm saying to you? So yeah, it always, I was very positive in my stance, regardless of how turbulent, I suppose, or rough my upbringing was.
How much of a role do you think that played into you becoming a musician, an artist?
It's probably one of the biggest reasons I became a musician and an artist. I started out like any light-skinned youth from the, you know, era that I was in. Started out, played football, broke my knee. That was over. That was done. Cried my eyes out. I was fighting on the streets, fighting on the roadside.
Wow! Listen to the irony of that.
Fighting on the
it's
roadside.
like you're trying to avoid the road life, and the road life basically screws you.
I was fighting on the road, but then I was messing around. It was a play fight. It wasn't even serious.
Okay.
I was on the roadside, just messing around, man, and my knee just kind of went the wrong way.
Were you trying to impress a girl?
Boys don't play fight unless there's chicks around. If I remember right, there must have been. There was always girls in the crew anyway. That was definitely
that was
part of it.
obviously Charlton was my stomping ground
That was
as well.
yeah,
It
that's
one
where I
of my
was. I
stomping
was
grounds.
on Cherry Orchard when I broke my leg.
And that bus stop just by the entrance,
Yeah,
it's like all the girls used to hang out there
outside
when we were young.
Camels. Yeah.
It was mad. It was easy pickings. Well, not for all of us, but yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, so that happened, and then it was like, what's my way out of the hood now? Because when you are in those kind of situations as a young black man, you don't see a lot of options, bro. Do you know what I mean? I didn't see a lot of examples of where I could go. I saw examples of where I didn't want to go. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, I ain't trying to go there. You know, second to football, music was probably the next one that we all looked at and was like, yo, trying to be like Nas, Jay-Z, Tupac. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, we definitely got sold that dream. I definitely got sold that dream. It was like, okay, it's gonna be all right because I can rap.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That kind of thing. And when I first started, I was drum bass MC. You know.
So who was you moving with? What circles were you?
I was in New Breed crew, so I was the youngest member of New Breed. So that is Fat Man D, Shortston, Herbsy, Foxy, and X Man. And then
by the way, Fat Man D, I saw you followed me, and then you unfollowed me.
Fat Man's dope, man. Like, that's my boy. Like, that's one of the first guys that I suppose saw me and saw talent and was like, you know, yeah, you'll come with me, because he just lived on the ends. Like,
Do you still speak to him?
Yeah, cool.
Tell him he needs to follow me again.
I'll tell him to follow you back, man. Relax, man. Relax. Internet ain't the real world. But like, yeah, like, he was one of the first people I say that spotted me and was like, yo, something special about you, I suppose. My cousin, Shortston, was already a part of New Breed, you know what I mean? And I remember my mum sitting down with Shortston and just being like, yo, I don't know what he's in his bedroom doing. He's yabbity, whatever. But don't you lot do the same? Don't you lot do the same yabbity thing to take him with you lot? Do you know what I mean? And he was just like, yeah, come, you're with us. Do you know what I mean? And Fat Man was around the ends. He lived in Charlton. And we just, grew close like that. And I just remember being 17. I was 17 years old. And my birthday, it was my 17th birthday. And we went out to Bagley's. And all of a sudden, I'm on the main stage. You know, me and Fat Man, it's my birthday, just turning 17, so I'm too young to be in the club, but I'm ripping. My brethrens are in the crowd. Oh my God, it's Kasha. What you got there, bruv? You know what I mean? You know, and it was like, yeah, this is it. This is definitely what I want to do. And drum and bass was an amazing experience because the circumstance I was in didn't afford me a lot of opportunities, you get what I'm saying? So all of a sudden now I'm getting on airplanes and I'm you know, going to different countries, I'm getting paid to go to different countries, and your view of the world just opens up, it expands. You're like, yeah, man, like a artist is born, I suppose, isn't it? Where it's just like, yeah, this is, you know, I get the best of two things here. I can escape through the process, you know what I mean? And I feel loved through, you know, the sharing of it. I looked in the mirror and I saw like a broken person. I saw someone who wasn't worth a lot, but, you know, I'm talented, do you know what I mean? And I can make money out of that. Like, my self-image was, it was oppressed, do you know what I mean, at the time. And I had a lot of things I needed to fix about myself just as a human being, like traumas and whatever else, you know what I mean? And I truly believed at that time that being rich and famous would fix all of that for me. That's deadly, bro. That's dangerous. Yeah. It's a dangerous state for a human to, you know, vibrate in. And record labels and stuff, they see that. And they're very, very quick to home in on that weakness, as it were. Being the young man that I wasn't able to be easily manipulated. So even though they was homing in on certain weaknesses of mine, I still was very firm that I came to do a particular job. And ultimately, I can safely say that by sticking by my guns the way I did at that time, like, I never compromised myself as a person. I never lost my integrity in any way. You know, there's you know, you can throw around terms like selling your soul and all this other stuff. And, you know, who knows if some of the stuff that we're reading about and, you know, that we learn about now that goes on in the music industry, who knows if that goes on? And if it does, I do know that I would have struggled with a lot of the dictatorship levels that go on within the music industry. If you'd have took me at that age, made me sign on a dotted line for a recording contract, and then made me try and do stuff that I weren't happy with, bro, I would have been one of those artists that just had an accident. Like, if that kind of stuff does happen, it's safe to say that me and record labels couldn't agree on what it was Kasha Rae was going to be. You know, they wanted one thing, I wanted another. I was real clear that's what it was gonna be. Take it or leave it. They left it.
I feel like this is a story that many people understand, even when you're dealing with independent labels, because ultimately, to a record label, that's business. So they want to make their money.
Yes, it.
So you are a product.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's where I think a lot of artists, if they want to stick to the art, maybe they need to understand when they go into any agreement that they are a product.
Yeah.
And if they're not happy being a product, then they need to leave that situation alone.
Like, if you're happy with making music becoming a robotic job-like process, then you'll be happy being a signed recording artist. If you want to make music that spills out of you organically from your soul, then you need to be independent. And you need to stay that way. Because the minute business meets music, music business is the minute art goes out the window.
We were just happy. Just sitting in a bedroom and just rapping, reciting lyrics and not giving a shit.
Yeah, I think if you can build something that's sustainable, I think that's the key right there. If you
I
can
understand that word.
Yeah, cool, great. We're on the same page with this one. That's fantastic. We're making headway. If you can make your passion, if you can turn your passion into a paycheck, you've won this thing called life. This thing that we're all out here, living. I believe truly that you've won it if you can marry your passion with an income. Music makes me feel like I'm alive in it. The creative mind knows no bounds. Like, we take something from nothing and create, it's magical.
Yeah.
And that is how music makes me feel. I can get lost there forever. It's one of the only places where I am truly at one with myself and I am happy and I could be there forever if you'd let me.
And there's so many like-minded artists. I mean, you've done that collaboration track with Composure, Harry Shot, Genesis Elijah,
Salute
all that.
every man.
Zeno.
Yeah.
I forget who the other one was.
DBR.
Yeah.
DBR.
But
Big Cakes as well.
But yeah, I mean, that was heavy.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That was literally the first video of you that I saw, and I was like, geez, who's this?
And that was after me coming back from a long hiatus, because I went away for like 8 years, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Like I said,
jail?
No, I didn't go away. Okay. I went away from the industry, the music industry. Yeah. Okay, I'll use wiser words. I went away from the industry.
You should use a longer word that makes more sense.
Longer words so that
something
that
like
one,
I don't know, just anything.
Okay.
Just make something up.
Okay, I took a vacation. From
there you
the
go.
music industry.
And that's a word I understand as well.
From the music industry, because I'd hit that juncture. Where it's like, well, take a recording contract or don't. And if you don't take a recording contract, well, guess what, mate? You can't do anything else because we're just going to put the stoppers on you. And if you think boycotting and blackballing doesn't happen, then you're an idiot. Do you know what I mean? So, I went for a long stage of that as well. I felt like I was banging my head against the brick wall. I wasn't making any money. I had my first daughter.
You said that like you're blaming me. It's like,
I know, it was your fault. I was buying CDs off you, bruv, and I couldn't sell them.
Look at the screw face as well while he's saying it.
So, I wasn't making any money, and it was
I wasn't even in your life then.
Your CDs were sitting on my shelf, not selling, bruv.
Bro, that was you. You fucked up. When you called me and wanted CDs doing, I told you you're not going to sell them. And you did not listen. You still went ahead and manufactured.
Up until that point in my life, I'd never really done jobs like that, So it was a new...
I think that's kind of a disease that goes around in Charlton anyway. Like, nobody wants to work.
Nah, I say it in one of my bars. Yeah, we don't want to work.
You've worked with some very big names, respectable names in the industry, and quite possibly one of the biggest artists of our generation.
That's undeniable, really.
That's just one of them, really. You've worked with others, obviously. But you've worked with Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, it's probably
so.
The most obvious
Explain
thing.
to me how it feels to know that you've got that on your resume.
I think,
right, and to know that people don't really know who you are.
Again, if you know anything about my career up until this point, you will quickly realize that the industry knows about you before fans do. Yeah, the industry decides who's next, innit? And I did the industry rounds where they were making a decision on whether or not I was next. Do you know what I mean? At the same time, they were making a decision on me. They were making a decision on Ed. And we saw each other all the time. We kept bumping into each other. He would be at the show, I'd be at the same show. And, we'd just bump into each other. We just grew a respect for one another. First time I saw him perform, he just blew me away. Built the beat on stage and, you know, did all that. And, you know, we spent hours in the back just smoking fags and just chatting about music. Do you know what I mean? Having a beer and whatever. And it was just a mutual respect between two people.
He's a good guy.
The dude, he's one of the most sound people I know in terms of, especially how he's made the leap and who he is as a person. So,
and he still seems down to earth.
You can't fault him as a person. So, yeah, you know, he was trying to make it, I was trying to make it. We became somewhat friends just through mutual respect of music. Ed had this effect on people. When you saw him, he had this effect when you first met him. And that resonated with me. And it appeared that we had the same effect on each other. He picked out a song of mine called Wild Heart. And he was like, that song inspired me to write Angels. So he's got a song, Angels. So we just had a mutual respect. The song that we built together, we actually built 2 songs together. So yeah, the song just came about because we wanted to jump in the studio as 2 artists. Hats off to the fella. I got to the studio an hour late. When I got there, he had already laid the vocal. So fast forward now, that's about 2 or 3 months just before he got signed. We recorded those 2 songs together. 2, 3 months down the line, boom, he's just been signed. And he speaks on the phone to my manager, and my manager congratulates him and he just says, look, those 2 songs that you've got with me, don't worry. I'm going to write a letter to my label to say, look, can you make sure these 2 songs don't get stifled? So he did. Hats off to the fella. He sat down and wrote a declaration to his record label saying these 2 songs have been written prior to my signing with you. He has a release schedule and please do not stifle these songs. I couldn't tell you word for word what it said, do you know what I mean? But his record label then sent us back a response saying, that's fine. But at the time, I wasn't allowed to kind of use his name for the promotion of the record. And I also wasn't allowed to put it on sale. So it was put up as a free download. And the video went up on YouTube, but I just wasn't allowed to.
You done
there's a video for it on YouTube. But
with Ed?
Yeah. He's in the video. Do you know what I mean? We shot it together. There's a making of and whatever. Lots of people go to me, you edited him, didn't you? You photoshopped him in, didn't you? And no, he was there. He was with us on the day.
How does that feel?
Again, he was just a dude making music, bro. Do you know what I mean? Just respect him. I like what you're doing. He likes what I'm doing. Do you know what I mean? Like, seeing where he's gone, it is like, okay, wow, that is really where it goes. When they decide who goes, you really do go.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yeah, it's super interesting to have sat back on this side of the fence and watched that journey take place. But I also know that journey's been difficult for him. You know what I mean? And that's why I keep coming back to this whole thing that's like, if you think fame or fortune fixes the problems in your life, then yeah, man, I'm sure Ed would stand up and testify to the fact that you would be really wrong.
I think the way he's handled things is brilliant.
Bottom line is this, yeah. That song still exists online to this day, and it exists for one reason, because that man has enough respect for me and what we did together in that studio for it to be so. For him to sit down and write a letter to big old Atlantic Records or whatever it is, you know what I mean? And for them to be like, okay, cool, we'll leave him alone. And to be fair, it's been years since I released it. I released it in 2012.
So if you were to put it online now, do you think it'd get blocked?
No, that's the thing, it's still there. That's what I was about to say. They haven't blocked it even up until this day, because they could have withdrawn that statement 8 months, 6 months, 9 months, 10 months down the line. They could have just gone, listen, Ed, enough's enough now. Do you know what I mean? But they haven't. They've left it where it is. And fair play to the geezer. He is one of the most sound people you would ever meet, regardless of his absolute mega superstardom. Yeah. He would happily sit down, drink a pint of beer, just have a chinwag, bro. Just have a chat. Like, he's a good dude.
How does it feel to know that you put so much effort into the music, but yet you end up having to do a normal job?
You know, you go through all the motions. Am I not good enough? You know, was it not for me? Did I waste my time? And yeah, of course I went through all the motions, bro. Do you know what I mean? I had to give up on my dreams. Like,
could you have done anything different to make it work?
I could have done lots of things different, man. I could point you back to a good few times in my career where I feel like I messed up. Do you know what I mean? Or like my team messed up, or like it didn't quite go the right way. And if it had gone that way, then yeah, it would have been bigger. But look, here's the thing, bro, yeah. You know, what you believe is best for you sometimes ain't, bro. Because if I'd have got rich and famous at the time when I was adamant I was going to be rich and famous, yeah, bro, I don't think I'd have made it out of there okay. I had all of the character traits of someone who you could give the world to and they destroy themselves with it. I think I was one of the worst type of ones because I had that whole John Lennon, Bob Marley syndrome, that Tupac syndrome, where I thought, like I knew that I was walking into the devil's den, yeah? But I thought I could walk in there and win. I'ma say what I want, I'ma do what I want, I'ma talk to the people, power to the people, you know? So systematically they signed, you know, you could be this, that, conscious, you could be gangster rap, you could be this, that, and everything. And then they discovered, okay, gangster rap is how we weaponize this music. And we're gonna control it, lock it down. That's what you get now. You know, and slowly but surely, anything else that doesn't represent the ills of our communities has been weeded out. So I came at a time when you'd already seen Tupac, you'd already seen Nas, you'd already seen a bunch of characters that teetered on the edge of complying with the system but talking to the people. Yeah, they teetered on the edge and it was troublesome for the industry. It was turbulent for the industry, you know. We don't know what happened, but did people have to get assassinated? We don't know. Yeah, and the journey's been real, but it's been blessed and I wouldn't change it for anything. No, I did not dominate the music industry the way I first planned.
It's always important though.
But I got the life I planned and I think that's what's important.
Do you want to look into that camera and just tell people where they can find you?
On every social network, I am, my handle, I think they call it, is at Kasha Rae Music. But I'm banned from every social network there is available because I talk the realness, yeah? So if you search me and you can't find me, that's why. So it's KASHARAE, innit? And like when you buck me on socials, like I'm a human being in it, so I'll talk realness. I'll talk my real life opinions in it. But yeah, everywhere else, like Spotify, Apple Music, I've got all my whole catalog is up there. So please do go and check it out. And then my YouTube channel is just Kasha Rae.
Okay.
Please
so
go and check me out.
Obviously he's banned from all the social media stuff. So if people do want to find you, do you want to give them your home address so they can find you? Or are you banned from there as well?
You know what? After this interview, I think I am probably gonna be banned from my home address as well, bro. You keeping me here late. I was supposed to be out here a while ago, bro. But yo, man, nah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Like me, if you want to find out more about him, go and search him out. But like he said, he's banned from everywhere, so I doubt you'll find him. Good luck with that one.
Hard to find.
But yeah, I think he's got a Wikipedia page, which he hasn't been banned from yet, but give him a week or two. That's going to happen as well. He's working on it.
I did TikTok in like a week. TikTok was like, no, we heard about you.
Make sure you subscribe to the channel, spread the word to your communities, to your families, to your friends. Let everybody know there's something happening and, you know, let's just build something big. 521, we're going to try and support everyone who deserves the support, and it'd be nice to get the support back. Thank you very much for paying attention. Thank you very much for listening and watching.
Peace.